Karibuni tena kwa kipindi chingine cha mazungumzo. Ni mimi wenu Gilbert Kisharu Gidere, nikija nyumbani kwenu na hichi kipindi ambacho sisi huchambua mambo mengi ambayo yanahusu binadamu ama maisha ya binadamu, elimu, sanaa, mambo mengi. Na hivi leo sio tofauti, tutakuwa tukichambua mambo tofauti na kuendelea na ile filosofia ya wafilosofia wa Ujerumani vile kama Hegel na Martin Heidegger. Lakini kabla hatujafika hapo, huwa wakati mwingi nikipenda tufungue kipindi na kipande ama sanaa ya muziki, kwa sababu wajua muziki ni lugha ya dunia kote. Ukicheza muziki kila mtu anafahamu na anajua unasema nini, na kwa hivyo ni kitu kimoja ambacho mimi nimetia manane sana, na huwa nikifungua kipindi kidogo naweka kipande cha muziki, na lugha ninayotumia katika huo muziki sio muhimu, bali ile nakshi yake, nuru ambao huo muziki unaleta katika nyoyo za watu ambao wanasikiza hicho kipindi. Na kwa hivyo mtaniruhusu nijaribu tu. Wimbo wenyewe unaitwa Rehema na nimeutunga mimi mwenyewe. Ni yapi niliyofanya ama kutenda kukufanya uondoke maishani mwangu usiku wa manane, ukavunja ile ahadi yetu tuliyoweka, kuishi pamoja tukipendana mpaka kufa, mimi na wewe Rehema. Na uko ulipo ewe Rehema, simu ikilia wewe uwaza iwe ni mimi nimekucharazia simu, ewe Rehema. Na ungurumukapo kutoka uzingizini usiku wa manane, huwa ni ndoto za mapenzi yetu zinakusumbua, ewe Rehema. Lakini wacha nikutobore siri, ewe Rehema. Wacha nikutobore siri, ewe Rehema. Ile picha yako bado imesimama kabambe ukutani wa chumba chetu, ewe Rehema. Na wakati mwingine mimi husikia hiyo sauti yako nyororo imeloa kote chumbani, nyumbani, ewe Rehema. Na wakati mwingine nikiwa nimebarizi hapo chumbani, mimi husikia wayo wako kama ambaye unaninyemelea, ukitaka kuninong'onezea kuhusu mapenzi yetu ya hapo awali, ewe Rehema. Na uko ulipo Rehema, simu ikilia wewe uwaza iwe ni mimi nimekucharazia simu, ewe Rehema. Na ungurumukapo kutoka uzingizini usiku wa manane, ndoto za mapenzi yetu zinakusumbua, ewe Rehema. Mimi siwezi kulala siwezi, mafikira yangu yamekuwa ya kumbuazio, ewe Rehema. Kulala siwezi, ewe Rehema. Penzi lako limenifanya niko kama bubu kwa mapenzi yako, ewe Rehema. Kutoka ulipoondoka Rehema, kutoka ulipoondoka maishani mwangu, ewe Rehema, maisha yangu yamekuwa ya hohehahe, niko kama bubu kwa mapenzi yako, ewe Rehema. Na uko ulipo Rehema, mama, na uko ulipo ewe Rehema, simuikilia wewe uwaze iwe ni mimi nimekucharazia simu Rehema. Naungurumuka hapo kutoka usingizi usiku wa manane, wani ndoto za mapenzi yetu zinakusumbua, ewe Rehema. Ungurumuka hapo kutoka usingizini usiku wa manane, Rehema, wani ndoto za mapenzi yetu zinakusumbua, ewe Rehema. 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 Wimbo wa santuri nimeutunga mimi mwenyewe, na nafikiri umetia nuru, natumai, katika nyoyo zenu wakati mwingine ambao mnasikia roho zenu mko chini, na ndio kwa sababu nimeuimba. Sasa tutaelekea ile nafasi yetu nyingine ambayo ni kuchambua filosofia. Wajua, lazima tuongeze elimu na ujuzi. Hicho ni kitu cha maana sana kwa binadamu, na mtaniruhusu niendelee kuchambua kidogo. Hii elimu ni kitu ambacho ni kitu cha maana sana, na mtanisamehe sasa nitaingilia kimombo. Now, I'll leave Swahili aside and I will get into English. We were doing analysis of Artificer and Diremption. These are very, very important terms when it comes to philosophy, especially those who are interested in understanding Hegel, Martin Heidegger, and the philosophers who came before us, because we all drink from the same source. We at times drink from Molefi Asante, our friend. Sometimes we drink from Appiah, Peter Appiah, those who know Appiah. Sometimes we drink from even our brother James Baldwin. I put him in the category of many philosophers. Joachim is also Lucius, These are famous people who came before us, Du Bois, Cornel West, and many, many other people, including Western philosophers like Bertrand Russell, Derrida, Oman van Quine, Wittgenstein, Husserl, Edmund Husserl. I borrow from all these people. And nowadays, artificial intelligence has come into our world, so I also borrow a lot from it. So Diremption is a continuation of what I'm going to do now. Whatever I'm going to say has that connection. Fragmentation and alienation. Fragmentation, Diremption helps us in these areas of fragment. Another important responsibility of Diremption is the experience of fragmentation as consciousness splits and differentiates. Human awareness is subject to experiences of alienation and division, not only from the external world, but also within the self. The dualities created by Diremption, such as mind and body, intellect and emotion, lead to a sense of incompleteness or conflict, which drives human beings toward self-reconciliation and higher forms of awareness. Alienation and the search for unity. In Hegelian terms, Diremption also leads to alienation. The experience of being estranged from one's own essence or from others. This alienation is a key responsibility of Diremption because it compels human beings to seek reconciliation. Alienation creates a state of tension where individuals feel disconnected from the world or even from aspects of themselves, such as when one feels torn between rationality and emotion. The duty of Diremption in this sense is to catalyze the human quest for higher forms of unity, either through philosophical reflection, artistic creation, or spiritual practices that attempt to resolve or transcend these divisions. Self-reflection and growth. Diremption plays a critical role in the development of self-reflection. By dividing the self from its environment and creating distinction within the self, for example, reason versus desire, Diremption enables humans to reflect on their experiences, actions, and inner states. This reflective capacity is essential for growth and learning, as it allows individuals to examine themselves from a more objective standpoint, leading to self-improvement. Critical awareness. The duty of Diremption is to make a critical thinking possible. Through the separation of ideas and concepts, humans can question assumptions, analyze their beliefs, and change their perspectives. Without Diremption, human thought would remain stagnant in a unified but undifferentiated state, unable to engage in the complex processes of reasoning, debate, and growth. Artificer responsibilities and duties in human awareness. An artificer, as explored in the previous context, is a creator or maker who shapes and brings forth order, whether in material objects, ideas, or even consciousness itself. When applied to human awareness, the concept of Artificer takes on responsibilities related to construction, integration, and synthesis, while Diremption divides, the Artificer unites, builds, and creates meaning. The role of the Artificer in reconstructing unity. Where Diremption separates fragments, the Artificer's role is to reconstruct unity by synthesizing the divided parts of human awareness into a coherent whole. The Artificer is responsible for bringing order and integration onto chaos and fragmentation. Synthesis of experience. Human consciousness is bombarded by a multitude of sensory experiences, thoughts, emotions, and memories, all of which can feel disjointed, overwhelming. The Artificer's duty is to synthesize these disparate elements into a coherent self-narrative or worldview. This is evident in the way humans construct meaning out of their lives, finding patterns and connections between seemingly unrelated events. Artificer takes the raw material provided by Diremption and transforms it into something meaningful. The Artificer also responsible for the integration of opposites, particularly those oppositions created by Diremption. For example, the duality of reason and emotion created by Diremption must be harmonized by the Artificer. This might involve balancing logical thought with emotional intuition, or reconciling conflicting desires in a way that promotes inner harmony. The Artificer's role here is to ensure that the various aspects of the self, intellect, emotion, body, spirit are unified into a functional whole. Creativity and innovation in human awareness. The Artificer is responsible for creativity and the creation of new forms in human awareness. While Diremption separates the subject from the object, allowing for critical observation, the Artificer takes these observations and creates something novel from them. In this sense, the Artificer is responsible for the imagination and the active creation of new ideas, perspectives, and ways of being. Creation of knowledge and ideas. One of the key duties of the Artificer is to generate new knowledge. This involves taking the fragmented insights produced by Diremption and combining them in ways that yield new understandings or innovations. For example, scientific discovery often involves the Artificer function in human consciousness, where different observations or theories are synthesized to produce groundbreaking ideas. The Artificer is responsible for the creative leaps that define human intellectual progress. Art and aesthetic creation. Beyond intellectual creativity, the Artificer is also responsible for the creation of art and aesthetic experiences. Human awareness, shaped by Diremption, is filled with divisions and conflicts. The Artificer's role is to transform these tensions into beauty, whether through painting, sculpture, music, or storytelling. Art can be seen as a way of reconciling the contradictions in human experience, offering a vision of unity, harmony, or meaning where there was once fragmentation. Responsibility for self-creation and self-actualization. Finally, the Artificer in human awareness has the profound duty of self-creation. While Diremption brings about self-awareness through separation, the Artificer is responsible for the creative shaping of the self. This involves the conscious construction of one's identity, purpose, and life path. Self-construction. The Artificer is responsible for constructing the self-image and identity of an individual. Human beings are not merely passive recipients of external influences. They actively shape their own lives, values, and aspirations. The Artificer in the human consciousness takes the raw materials of experience, reflection, and knowledge and uses them to build a cohesive self-concept, crafting a personal narrative or vision of who they are. The Artificer self-actualization. The Artificer is also responsible for guiding individuals toward self-actualization, the fulfillment of their highest potential. By synthesizing the various dimensions of the self, integrating experiences and creating new forms of meaning, the Artificer enables individuals to achieve a sense of holiness and purpose. This duty involves not only intellectual and creative efforts, but also ethical and spiritual growth. A conclusion. The complementary roles of Diremption and Artificer. In human awareness, Diremption and Artificer represent two complementary forces. Diremption separates, divides, and fragments, allowing for self-awareness, critical reflection, and the perception of dualities. The Artificer, on the other hand, unites, synthesizes, creates, enabling humans to construct meaning, develop their entities, and integrate the divided aspects of their consciousness. The responsibilities and duties of Diremption involve the facilitation of self-awareness, cognitive distinction, and alienation that drives growth. The Artificer duties center on creativity, integration, and active shaping of the self and the world. Together, these forces shape human awareness, driving individuals towards greater understanding. Thank you, and God bless you.